Welcome to Dyllin with Age of Wonders 4, where we continue the journey of Brigand and the Anointed Orcs in Episode 4. Let's begin. I want to see what he does, so I'm going to pull back further. I'm totally fine with that, that's exactly what I want to happen. Let's pull back further. Let's actually switch these units so the Anvil Guard is in between, so that when it goes into shield wall, it'll give adjacent friendly units +3 defense on both of these. Although, yeah, this is physical damage, right? Good. These things, they can use the poisonous spores, which is poison damage, blight damage. Alright. I have nothing else that I want to cast at the moment. I don't want to cast any spells, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to end our turn, we're going to wait for them, we're going to see what they do. They are continuing to push up in a pretty distributed fashion. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to... This is a melee strike, right? So yeah, they have to come to us. They have to waste their movement to use their melee strike. But they're almost certainly going to use poisonous spores no matter what. And poisonous spores does not work on ethereal or undead units. And if Inferno puppies are fiends, which is not ethereal, I don't think. Then we're probably about to find out. So I want to take down that Entwined Thrall pretty fast. I cannot reach it with a Halberdier, but that's perfectly fine by me. Let's push to here. Push to here. The Fury, I want to get within maximum range. 2 strikes. 2 strikes 70%. I think that sounds pretty good. The Steel Shaper doesn't really matter exactly where he moves, or she moves in this case. The Halberdier, I want him defending against the incoming Floral Stinger. So he's going to be in position to stop that unit. And then we're going to position this Arbalist to also deal with the Floral Stinger here in a second, but not immediately. For right now, we're going to push it forward and shoot over the heads of these units. That does risk these units, but I think for a 70% chance, we're pretty safe. Not completely safe, but pretty safe. I'm not worried about this Floral Stinger doing anything but attacking the Anvil Guard, because he just can't move far enough. That's one of the reasons I didn't move a unit here. Although I'm saying that, I think that's more of a coincidence. So let's push the Steel Shaper forward. This Anvil Guard is going to get hit pretty hard here in a moment, but the Halberdier is going to get hit just as hard. Yeah, because we're not going to kill the Entwined Thrall on this turn, I think, so he's going to hit the Inferno Puppy. The Floral Stinger is probably going to hit the Anvil Guard, or more likely it's going to use Poison Spores on somebody. The Halberdier is possibly going to get hit by the Floral Stinger, although of course more likely it's going to use Poison Spores on somebody. So I think the biggest thing to do right now is not to buff somebody's defense, but to do damage if I can kill this thing in one hit. But we'll find out here in a second. I am using burning damage in addition to physical damage, which these Entwined Thralls are actually weak to. Let's see. Yeah, they have -4 fire damage, -2 blight damage. They're more resistant against lightning. These should be about the same. Yeah, the Floral Stingers have the same resistances. So having the Inferno Puppy is really useful. We also have fire damage from the Steel Shaper. No, we have physical damage. Oh, that's too bad. We'll have fire damage from some people later on, hopefully. Alright, let's get those shots in from the Fury. Good hit. Good hit. Alright, it looks like I can actually kill this Entwined Thrall, so I think the best move here is going to be to strike it with... Yeah, it's going to need both of these attacks, most likely. Although... Yeah, let's hit it with the hero. And then let's hit it with the... No. Since I can kill the Entwined Thrall without using the Steel Shaper, I'm not going to use the Steel Shaper. Although that does expose the Anvil Guard to a flanking shot from the Floral Stinger. But I think that my bet is they're going to use poisonous spores. So I'm going to take that risk. And then because of that, I'm going to lower that risk by boosting the defense of the Anvil Guard. Chances are they're just going to use poisonous spores no matter what. Alright, we're going to end the turn, put everybody else into defensive modes. We don't need to cast any spells at the moment. Nobody needs any particular healing or boosted defense for the most part. Let's see what the enemy does. They're actually moving into close range. Yep, casting spores as predicted. Yes. Yeah. So status resistance would have been better, but we couldn't get that. Alright, we can hit these dudes 3 times now, so we're going to blow the crap out of them. First, we're going to shoot this floral stinker with a overdraw crossbow shot to hopefully remove its retaliation strike. Alright, good deal, and then we're going to hit it with the halberdier. Hopefully kill it with these 3 attacks. Come on. One more strike. There we go. It's considered cavalry as well, apparently. Or some kind of extra large unit. Where is it? Large target. Ah, yeah, so large target makes it easier to hit with physical range magic attacks, and it also counts as a unit the polearms get bonuses against. Alright, so this Inferno puppy could use some healing for sure, but we could also definitely use a blind on the floral stinger. So what I think I'm going to do here is push into range of the floral stinger, push up to try to blind it. We're also going to bring the dog in. We're going to heal the dog as well, spend a little bit of mana to heal it. It's going to get more units as well, so we can do more damage to the floral stinger. We're going to push up our hero so that we can hopefully blind it here. Take its retaliation attack away. Alright, it took its retaliation strike away. Let's go ahead and hit it. Okay. It may have been a better idea to actually use taunt against it right there, but that's okay. If he decides to attack the Inferno puppy, that's temporary hit points that he'll be going through. And he might be able to shoot through all those temporary hit points, but that's okay. We got this thing out of a loot stash. It's not that big a deal. Okay, let's bring the Fury up as close as we can. We actually have a 90% shot from this distance. The 90% would be 70%, although he doesn't have Keen Eye, does he? No, that's our unit, so he just straight up has 90%. Alright, get those shots down range. Let's get this strike in. We're not going to kill it this turn, that's okay. I think what's going to happen here is that he attacks the Inferno puppy with his melee attack. So let's see if that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. We respond, he attacks twice more, gets through all the temporary hit points, starts doing actual permanent damage that we can heal though. And then we just finish him. Let's finish him using our hero Brigand. Here we go. Alright, he is done for. We got some rank ups on our Fury and our Inferno puppy. We also got a Wand of Lightning Strike and some production. Let's see. The Wand of Lightning Strike deals damage in a 3-hex line. Oh wow, that's impressive. But it's not quite the blind that Magic Blast has, so we can't get rid of retaliation strikes. But if we got close to the enemy, we could hit potentially 2 to 3 of them. Oh no, we can't use it in a enemy zone of control, so we could hit at most 2 enemies unless the enemy didn't have a zone of control wherever we moved. That'd be pretty useful, but I think we're going to go with the Staff of Spirit for the moment, just because it has the ability to remove retaliation strikes. It's not that much more damage, and Spirit can be kind of useful. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to combine the Fury into, well actually maybe not. If I if I advance with my current army, and then I use the Fury to attack the Brigand camp, I could have everybody involved in that attack. Which is something I think that I'm gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and strike that Brigand camp with our armies, but first thing I would like to do is I would like to actually rename the city, because I forgot to do that. So let's go ahead and let's call this Orcs Light. Alright, a little bit of a glitch right here. The game thinks that my scout is continuing to run. And I hope that you enjoy the music being turned up a little bit more so that you have something to listen to while I'm maybe being more quiet than usual. So if I hit this, let's step forward. Oh, I gotta wait until next turn. Okay. So who needs orders? The scout needs orders. We don't need them for this battle, so let's go ahead and let's go north and around Bastion up here. We don't want to trespass through their lands because that'll upset them and make it harder to ally them in the future, which is what we want to do. And you need something to do over here, Scout. I want to get that creature cage next, so let's go ahead and let's move there. And we got a Lesser Tide Spirit. Let's take a look at you. It's a fighter unit that costs us 8 mana upkeep, which is not that big of a deal at the moment. We don't use that many spells. And it's a pretty basic fighter unit that has resistance to fire, blight, but weakness to shock. You, I would like to probably send south, honestly. While the scout is going to be prospecting over here, he's also going to prospect these mountains as well. I need a unit to push south and explore that region. So let's send you that way. You have a few more movement left. Let's send you a little bit further east. We found ourselves another infestation. And there's a watchtower in the fog over here. Once we get there, you'll be able to see the area around it. Somebody's built a city over here, it looks like. That's a farm. And that's a quarry. And this looks like it's a magic material. Alright, you need to move. Let's send you over to this hex, and then we're going to prospect this province, and then we'll prospect this province, and then prospect this province. Let's hope for a hero item. Here we go. Nope. 66 gold, but hey, gold's a great thing to get. We finished researching Sundering Blades, so now we can start working on enchanting our units to get a base 90% chance of inflicting Sundered Defense, which reduces the enemy defense and makes them able to destroy reinforced obstacles. Right now, I don't think that's a very good idea to start working on this, simply because we only have a mana income of +8, and unit enchantments period cost mana upkeep. Racial transformations don't cost anything, I believe. I know major ones don't. Maybe minor ones do. But enchantments cost mana. And we need more mana before we start thinking about upgrading our units. So let's pick our next research. More enchantments. Researching our tomb is probably the best thing that we want to do. I'm going to have plenty of scouts getting me vision, so I'm not too worried about moving them faster or seeing more, because I'll have a lot of scouts, period, just to do prospecting and search the region. So let's go ahead and let's work on our tomb so that we can research enough research to get the next tomb. And eventually we will upgrade our units with secret arrows, which increase their range by 1. Orcs Light finished a building. What did you finish? Let's see real quick. You finished the workers' farmstead. And it turns out that the workshop is, I don't think it's Industrious specific, because I have seen it in a few other cultures. So it's not Industrious specific, but the workers' farmstead, as far as I know, is Industrious specific. So what we want next is, ideally, we want mana income. We could boost this by building a quarry, but we don't even have the option for a quarry on any of these provinces, so we can't really boost it at the moment without changing, say, the forester into a quarry, which we can do, but that would take 3 turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and hard build the shrine. And then we're probably going to do a library or maybe a vendor. We could boost the stonemason by getting in 2 farms, which we'll probably do very soon. But first, I'd like to go ahead and get this mine built so I can get more gold. And gold can be used to hurry units, pay for them, all sorts of things. So we've got that built. Our gold income is gone up. We have some Imperium that we could spend on attracting a population, and I think I'd like to do that, since if we look at the Empire Development screen, the next Empire Development skill is Consolidated Industry, which gives us +1 city stability for each adjacent province improvement of the same type. Now, we don't really have many of those next to each other, so it's not a big deal. The one after that is a little more important. It's like our Imperialist bonus. It gives us +10% income in all cities that share a border with the Throne City, but we don't currently have another city. And it'll be quite a while before we get access to pacification, which means destroying an infestation or conquering a free city grants a stacking +300 relations to all other free cities for 10 turns. But that's going to be 7 turns until we can get that. So I'd prefer to go ahead and make our city taller by attracting more people. And that's not a big deal at the moment because we have 15 city stability, and every province improvement that you put down costs 5, so we're in the clear. Alright. Looking back at that stonemason, I do see that if we build 2 farms, we can boost it. And if we build 2 foresters, we could boost the Grand Mill. We do have 57 production, which is a decent amount, but I think in this case, I would prefer to get the stonemason faster than, say, the library, just because I want more people, more buildings, more of everything before we move onwards. So I'm going to focus on building a farm next, I think. Let's find a good spot for that farm. Let's see if there's anything that we want to push towards. There's an iron deposit over here that we'd actually like to get closer to, as well as another pasture. So growing the city in that direction is a pretty good choice, because I think I would like to put another city down here in the south to gain access to this iron deposit and the Archon blood right here. So let's put another farm over here. Oh, this is actually a pasture farm. So the pastures wasn't on this province, it was this province. That's even better. So now our food is +66, and we're going to get that next population even sooner. And we can get more production from this iron deposit in about 4 turns. Alright, that's the end of this turn, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to process forward and move on. Alright, day 5, we have a new Empire Development skill available. That's that Consolidated Industry, but I'm not too worried about that. We had Orcs Light produce a shrine. So after that, we're going to get him to build the stonemason. Okay. Pretty soon we'll have another Arbalest coming out of the city, which will be added to our main stat, giving us more ranged power. Let's go ahead and crush this Brigand camp right now. This Brigand camp is protected by a Night Guard, which is a pretty basic Dark Culture polearm unit. It is tier 2, 2 of those, and a Pursuer, which is a pretty basic archer unit. I could auto-combat this, but I don't think I want to. I really think that it's a good idea to do manual combat in Age of Wonders 4, simply because you get a good feeling for the variety of the game. There's 170 different units, I believe I read, in this game, which is really incredible considering that it just launched. So I'm going to manual combat this, and let's go. Once we get big enough, I will probably auto-combat, or of course just cut it out of the video. So they pushed forward. We want to probably draw them into... I hope you enjoyed Age of Wonders 4, following Brigand and I as we lead the Anointed Orcs into the future. If you like this video, why not give it a like? And if you want to see more, you can always subscribe. Feel free to let me know how the video went or what you thought of my moves in the comments below. I'll see you later in episode 5.